What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2003 movie George of the Jungle 2. So, in this movie, George and Ursula now have a son, George Jr., so Ursula's mother arrives to try and take them back to civilization. With the help of Lyle, Ursula's ex-fiance. So I think this story is decent enough. I don't think it's like an absolutely great movie by any means, but I think the story is decent and everything in the movie itself is okay. I don't think it's near as bad as I thought it was when I tried to give it a chance when it first came out and everything, but I gotta say this one was definitely better than I thought it was going to be, because I had never watched it all the way through. I watched like the first 5 minutes of it back in 2003 when it first came out and was like, nope, I'm checking out of this one and everything, just because it wasn't Brendan Fraser playing and everything. And I will say that Christopher Showerman, he's definitely no Brendan Fraser and everything. He's like a Dollar Tree Brendan Fraser, but he's okay in the role. He does good enough. He's serviceable enough in the role and does a good enough job. It was really cool seeing Thomas Hayden Church back as Lyle, though. He's still not a likable character. Not quite as evil as he was in the first movie and everything, but he's still unlikable douchebag. And the rest of the supporting cast are okay, too. You got Angus T. Jones, who plays George Jr. At the time, he was known for starring in Two and a Half Men in the early 2000s. He went on to star in that, I think the same year that this movie came out and everything. And then you got Christina Pickles, who plays Beatrice and everything at this time. Last time she was played by what is her name? Oh, Holland Taylor, that's right. I could not remember her name. I'm sorry, I had a brain fog for a minute. And she replaces Holland Taylor, and I think she does a decent enough job and everything. And John Cleese is once again back as Ape, and he's pretty good. It's cool having him back. And here him and Thomas Hayden Church are the MVPs that came back for this movie and everything. And there is a joke at the beginning of the movie that just had me dying laughing when George says that Disney wasn't willing to pay Brendan Fraser enough to be in the sequel and stuff. I thought that was just awesome, hilarious meta humor. And there's also quite a few other jokes about Brendan Fraser throughout the movie, and it makes the movie funnier and stuff. Like, they acknowledge that the movie doesn't have him and stuff, and I thought that was kind of funny. I will say, as far as the rest of the cast goes, I really don't like Julia Benz as Ursula. I thought she was pretty awful as Ursula. She just kept doing this really bad imitation of Leslie Mann and everything. It just did not work. I did not like her in this movie. But the rest of the supporting cast, I think, are okay. The meta humor is actually pretty good too, and I almost forgot to mention Michael Clarke Duncan as the voice of the evil lion in this movie, and he is awesome. It's like, man, if that dude would have been alive when the Lion King remake came out, he would have been perfect for Mufasa. But yeah, hearing his voice in this movie as that lion, I was like, yeah, he would have been better than bringing James Earl Jones back for the remake. I just wish he would have been alive to be able to do it. He was such a great actor and everything, so rest in peace, Michael Clarke Duncan. The meta humor is actually pretty good. Like I said, the jokes about Brendan Fraser were really funny. As far as negatives go, Julia Benz as Ursula is just horrible. The CGI is pretty awful in this movie, and it's aged very poorly. It looks really, really bad and everything. Like, I've seen movies from the 90s that look better than this and everything. Like George of the Jungle 1 looked better than this. The animals looked horrible in this movie and everything, except even the ones in most of the gorillas looked awful. Like they looked a lot better in the first one and everything. You could tell that they had a much smaller budget because the gorilla costumes were a lot cheaper looking. And then the only other negative I have with this movie is there is a lot of fart and poop jokes, and they're just, I'm at that age where fart and poop jokes, they don't offend me, but they're just so cringy and not funny that I just didn't get the humor in it and everything. It just wasn't very funny to me. But aside from that, I don't have any other negatives with this movie. I feel like this movie is okay and everything. It's not the best movie ever. It's not the worst either. There are a lot of fun slapstick moments and stuff. Of course, you see George flying into the trees all the time, and like the scene when he's fighting the villains and stuff, and he's like fighting these women, and they knock him off of the thing, the thing that they're on, and like this bulldozer thing he's trying to stop. And everything, they knock him off and everything, and it was pretty funny. There's some other funny moments throughout this movie, but the slapstick humor is pretty decent in here and everything. So all in all, I'm going to say George of the Jungle 2 is an alright movie. It's not near as bad as I was expecting it to be. I was expecting way worse out of it than it was. Once I got past the fact that it wasn't Brendan Fraser and Leslie Mann, and I was able to wrap my head around these two new actors playing them and everything, I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, I never fully got on board with Ursula though. Like Julie Benz was okay as Ursula, but she was just trying too hard to be like Leslie Mann, and I just didn't like it. Where at least Christopher Showerman acknowledged he's not Brendan Fraser and everything. So but yeah, this movie it's okay. It's an okay time and everything. It's one that I don't mind rewatching every once in a blue moon. It's not going to be one I watch all the time. It's one of those kind of sequels that every now and then I'll pop it in or whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to say I give George of the Jungle 2 a 6.5 out of 10. It's an okay time and everything. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie. And thank you to Godzilla King, I think that's your name, but anyway, thank you for recommending me to do this video. Sorry, my brain just fogged out again. I'm really tired. It's been a long last couple days, but thank you for recommending me to do this video, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.